cannot continue to rely only on our military in order to achieve the national security objectives that we've set. We've got to have a civilian national security force that's just as powerful, just as strong, just as well funded.
Well, there you have it. Now, you can draw any conclusion you want. You could say, well, the ravings of the Reverend mean nothing. He only sat there for 20 years. You can say that his claims to create a civilian security force is a benign idea, something along the lines of the Peace Corps. Or you can say, wait a minute. Michael said power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolutely. And I asked people to call in with who said that first and under what circumstance. And we're going to talk about it in a minute, but we do have a winner, so please, no more calls on that question. I want you to stop calling on that. Jose wins a free copy of Psychological Nudity. Jose in Grand Rapids, who said that?
Yes, sir, that was Lord Acton, a professor of Cambridge, who said that liberty is not a means to a higher political end. It is itself the highest political end. And Lord Acton is a model that we should pay attention to.
When Lord Acton said power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolutely, do you know who he was referring to or what situation he was referring to?
It escapes my mind at the moment, but it was about the turn of the century. So,
it was actually said around the period in the 1940s, if I remember correctly, although I don't have the exact year. And he was referring, of course, to virtually any politician. Most of them, as you well know, are power mad, or they wouldn't go in the field to begin with. But when you have a man like this who has millions of worshipers who don't even listen to what he's saying but are swayed by his rhetorical abilities, there's a man who's drunk on his own power, which is corrupting him. And I believe that absolute power will corrupt him absolutely. And I don't know that the Pelosi wing of the party can constrain him should he win, Jose. That's my particular fear.
Well, what I'm really concerned is about this civilian national security force and how all that is tied to everything we know that is not known about Obama.
What does he mean by a civilian national security force? Does he mean the Nation of Islam in every white neighborhood, patrolling and cajoling? What does he mean?
He means a community-level security cells, pretty much like the Committees for the Defense of the Revolution in Cuba and the Bolivarian circles in Venezuela. These are networks they are already in place if you want to heed the warning. ACORN, for example, is only one of over 100 different community organizations that appear to be working independently, but all working coordinatedly towards the same effect. This is very well established by Saul Alinsky and Saul Alinsky's mentor, philosophical mentor, Antonio Gramsci, the Italian communist. And it goes at par with Senator Obama's understanding of the Constitution, which constitutions are to be circumvented by a apparently loose network of community organizations that you can at one time spring together into action.
But Jose, I sense that. Are you from Cuba originally?
No, I'm not going to tell you what, but I have.
All right, fine. Oh, okay, preserve your privacy. But I understand about cadres. I know how they operate. But what, in your mind, can explain a candidate for the presidency saying that in order to achieve the national security objectives that we've set, we've got to have a civilian national security force? Why is he not being asked what he means by this by anyone in the media? Why?
Because for the last 30, 40 years, this new left international multiculturalist movement has been working at all levels, from the universities to the media to everywhere, where even the journalists that have been formed and come out of journalist schools from the last 30 years are so already indoctrinated and ingrained in the verbiage, in the terminology, that they are all part of this, whether they even know it or not. So what you have here is exactly what Gramsci's dream was, that you slowly infiltrate. You don't have to create a communist party. You don't have to be confrontational. What you do is you slowly infiltrate all the institutions in culture, so that at one point, when the time is ripe, all you have to do is introduce the leader that you are going to through the democratic process, eliminate the democratic process. So if you look at...
Hold on now. I understand what you're saying, and I know many intelligent men who see it exactly your way, that this man is a dangerous demagogue and possibly dictator in the making. I have a question for you, though. Since you really do know what you're saying, and I can hear in your voice you're holding back a lot more than you know, I'll ask the next question. What is it in the Pelosi-Feinstein wing of the billionaires that will prevent them from controlling Obama?
Because they would, regardless. See, this, you have to understand also where Soros comes from. This is a move towards a state capitalism. The people who are very afraid of Obama is establishing a communist dictatorship have also to consider, even in the left right now, there's a big critique about that Obama is really a puppet of a very dangerous transnational capitalist movement to control capital through political...
Pause 1 minute, because I have Ralph Nader on this show later who agrees with you.
Well, it is very insidious. It's not a coincidence that one of the top advisors of the educational so-called reform in Venezuela is Bill Ayers, who was just there in September giving a speech to Chavez. And
oh my God, you're kidding me!
No,
he's still traveling to the communist country of Chavez.
Bill Ayers was at a Congress of teachers, the Pedagogical Venezuelan Congress, just not long ago. Oh. And Bill Ayers has closer ties to Obama than we have been told, even by dissidents. He is a colleague of Obama, has been for the longest time, and they start with the philosophy from Paulo Freire, which is one of the pedagogical theoretician of liberation theology, which says that all education is for revolution. Since all education is no education is neutral, you might as well then make it politically consciously active and use the universities, use all of the education.
Wait a minute. This same Bill Ayers is on tape saying that they may have to liquidate 25 million Americans. We have that YouTube tape. Do you actually believe in your wildest fears and what you really know about the world that the Obama wing of this party will do that?
Yes, absolutely. It's not that they will. That's what they want to do. Bill Ayers was an agent of the Cuban intelligence.
Then why is it that John McCain won't say this? Why is it that John McCain keeps boosting Obama? Is John McCain a Manchurian candidate?
No, you have to. We have to be realistic. Look, even what I'm telling you, I know for a fact because I have been in their inner circles, and I have not only studied this, I've been studying this for more than 30 years, and I've been a part of it. But even when I say it, even to friends, I have friends of mine sending me emails now saying, Jose, if you would say this to me 6 months ago, a year ago, I would have laughed in your face. And I said, look, people have been laughing in my face for 20 years. Obama wrote a piece for the Daily Cost in 2005 where he says that one of the strategies that his side of the Democratic Party has to do is to make sure to kick out all moderates in the Democratic Party. This program was established in the universities. There is no way. Now, about 95% of...
Oh, wait, Jose, I hear you, and I can listen to you for hours because I know that you have a lot to offer.